we were very excited when we first listened to I'm Not in Love. As I said, we sat there for literally for hours, just listening over and over again, saying, what is this thing we've created? We were joking about it, saying, what is this monster we've created? Is it going to be a monster hit or a monster flop? We did not know. But we knew we had something special. And it's interesting when you get other people in the music business that telephone you, people like Roy Wood, who was with Wizard, and Elton John, and Paul McCartney, and they say, that song is so good. It's beautiful. I wish I'd have written that song. Then you know you got something great. Initially 2 guitars and very simple arpeggios, we call them. But when you put that on an electric piano, it's a very, very different thing. If I can... You see, what happens on an electric piano, the way I write, is that you have the bass hand as well. So you have a melodic hand here, like this. The bass is there on the left hand. It's like that. So that's much more interesting for me to write on a piano because I'm writing the bass as well at the same time, and sometimes the melody with the right hand. A guitar is good for rhythm if you're trying to get a feel for the track. So coupling the two together, this simple rhythm guitar and the Fender Rhodes sound, I think was part of the magic of that song too.
But the version of the song, the record that everyone knows, was not the first. That was not the first version that we recorded. When it was first written, it was done in more of a kind of samba rhythm, and we recorded it like that, and it didn't work at all. We knew it wasn't right, and unfortunately, we used to erase everything that we didn't like, so there was no record of anything that was bad around, and. But it would have been interesting to hear that again. And eventually, I think it was Kevin that came up with the idea to do it in this different rhythm, which was much slower and moodier. And we talked about how we were going to record it, and I think it was Lol had the idea that we should do it with voices. There should be a lot of voices on it. And I think that the original idea was that we would do it completely with voices and no instruments at all.
Just going... for 3 weeks, because each note had to be recorded with just 3 people singing. As I said, there are 13 notes on a chromatic scale, and we had a 16-track machine, so we recorded the same note on 16 tracks to make one note. So 3 times 16, I've not got a calculator, but to do this. And then that note was then copied from the 16-track machine onto a stereo machine, and the stereo machine I then made a loop of the stereo machine.
Well, I remember particularly one of the big vocal R's, and we made this loop of tape, and we had it going through 2 tape machines, and then it went round in the control room, and at one corner there was Kevin holding a cymbal stand, so the tape's going around that. Lol was in the middle, I was at the other end holding another cymbal, and we were trying to keep the tension, you know, and Eric was at the 2 machines. No, Eric was at the desk. I think Lol was at the 2 machines, and he kept saying, no, it's tighter, and we were moving back and forth. It's crazy. This big loop going round, and that was doing that sound.
So that we didn't have the edit going through quickly, where it would go boop, 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 each time the edit hit. So on a long loop, you had for a long time without this little blip, and you didn't hear it. But once that was recorded, we had to do it 13 times, you know, for each note of a chromatic scale on a piano. And it took a long time.
People used to say, They thought it was a... What did they think? A mellotron. Synthesizers weren't out then. And we would never tell anybody how it was done. It was a big secret for many years. We said, oh, I'll tell you.
We were trying to find a way of saying the words, be quiet, big boys don't cry. Be quiet, big boys don't cry. It just sounded interesting in that piano solo. And we tried it, I tried it, and we all said, no, it doesn't seem to work like that. And we were sat in the control room, and the secretary opened the door. She said, Eric, there's a telephone call for you. And we all turned around and said, that's the voice. Kathy, you're going on the record. She said, no, I can't. I said, come on, all you've got to say is, be quiet, big boys don't cry. She said, OK, I will try. And the rest is history. It's there.
And, but none of us at the time, nobody said, oh, we should release this as a single or this is a hit record or anything. It was really when we played it to, you know, our families and friends and the record company that everyone came back and said, you've got to release this as a single. It's just so special. And the reaction to it was just amazing, you know.
And it must have been 2 or 3 days later.